One of the most underrated ground premiums is the XM-1. It is oftentimes overlooked for premiums like the RDF-LT or the M1A1 clickbait or even the M1 KVT. It's looked at to be a less armored Abrams that has a pretty meh round and sits at 9.3 and doesn't really have a lineup. Now, when pairing it with a certain aircraft, it actually can perform pretty well, and as standalone as a premium, it's actually not that bad. Now, yes, you don't have very good armor, but you are a very early M1 Abrams version, so you do get great mobility, and you do have an okay round with a okay cannon. Now, the XM-1 is classified as a main battle tank, same classification that the M1 Abrams has. But what stands it apart from the M1 Abrams is its armor. It has worse armor. This thing cannot be played like a main battle tank. You're going to end up dying if you get into brawls like you can with the Abrams. You do, however, play this like a light vehicle, and you will perform a lot better. As a light vehicle, it's actually very, very good. Using it on flanks, getting up on hills, using it in a hull down position, it can perform very well, and when using it to grind out your American tech tree, I think it can be just as rewarding, if not more so, than the clickbait or the KVT or the RDF. And it is by far one of my favorite premiums, especially when pairing it up with an aircraft like the AV-8A. The AV-8A is the most underrated CAS aircraft that's a premium in my opinion. You get access to CCRP, CCIP, Zunis, 1,000-pound bombs, AIM-9Gs, a lot of countermeasures, 30mm cannons that also have a computerized impact point, a decent flight model, the ability to land on a helipad at 9.7. There's no reason this aircraft isn't at 10.0 in my opinion. Now, you do get very good unguided CAS capabilities. You get some really, really good air-to-air capabilities. You get a computer. You get access to things that make this aircraft severely underrated. And on top of all of that, you have the ability to hover onto caps if they're free to. You can land on points to get the cap, and you can land on helipads to rearm. On top of all of that, being at 9.7 means you, for the most part, don't have to play in full up tiers. Now, yes, you will see 10.7. I'm not saying that won't happen, but, if you pick something up like the A10 that sits at 10.3, you will see a lot of 11.0, 11.3 lobbies. That's just pretty much guaranteed. The AV-8A keeps you in that, 9.0 BR range with the XM-1. The XM-1 is obviously sitting at 9.3, playing it as a light tank. It performs very, very good. And I really don't know why people don't talk about the AV-8A, because as far as premium CAS goes, I don't really think there's a lot of other aircraft that I'd rather play. Now, obviously, it's not going to be as good at CAS as the A10. The A10 has access to TV-guided weapons like the AGM-65 and the GBU-8, but you do get access to, like I said, Zunis, which are really good at taking out tanks, and you get a computer for them, and 1,000-pound bombs, which you also get a computer for. And for defending yourself, you have 30mm cannons, AIM-9Gs, and an absurd amount of countermeasures. Also, on top of all of that, even more, the A10 has to oftentimes go up against Soviet AA like the OSA, the Strela, and the 2S6. Now, yes, at 9.7, you can technically still see the majority of those, if not all of those. That's only if you get a complete up tier. You can get down tier in this vehicle, and at that point, the best AA you're going to be facing is things like the Gepard, and maybe the ZSU-23, which you can absolutely counter with the Zunis. Pretty much, this vehicle is just underrated in my opinion. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in a later video.